welcome back to my channel, and thank you so much for sticking around. I'm sorry I have not been able to create videos recently. I've been away, but I'm back, no worries. And today we are going to take a look at AMC again. So first of all, let me begin by a little bit of a pat on the back because I got the Morningstar pattern correct. As you can see here, if you watch our last video, we discussed the Morningstar doji pattern playing out with the weekly chart here. So we got that confirmation candle with very high volume, which is very good. And we are currently in the middle of this week and we are so far green, and that is really good news. So let's quickly look at our weekly moving averages. So this blue one here, I believe is the 200-day moving average. Yep. So we are currently established that as the base and a support. So essentially we can then try and sort of move around and then try and push up. So if we do something like this, that would be very nice, and I would like to see something like that happen actually, and that would be very good for AMC. So let's jump into the smaller time frames. So here you can see that we have sort of broken out of this major pennant, which is an extremely bullish sign. This is what we have been looking at, and we are approaching the white line here, which was what was this, somewhere around 1994 and 2243, which were our, if you remember from our previous videos, those were our sort of gap fills that needed to happen in the daily time frame. So we are sort of about that. So I'm hoping that over the course of tomorrow we get to touch the 20 level. Maybe not hold it, but even if we get to touch it and then sort of consolidate around that, that's very nice. And AMC has been doing so well, although today it was a little bit of a lackluster day in terms of volume. We only had 39.36 million, which is low. We want to see volume come in when these kind of major sort of pattern breakouts happen. But other than that, everything else is looking good. So let's quickly jump even lower time frames. So in the 12-hour time frame, we have just about crossed our 50-day EMA. So we should now sort of challenge the 100-day EMA and then the 200-day EMA. So these are our sort of resistance lines. If you look at our 4-hour, you will be able to see that after hours we are up a bit, and we have just broken through our 100-day EMA, and we are going for this zone here. And hopefully if we find this, we keep this 100-day EMA as support, we maintain this as we consolidate, and then challenge this 200-day EMA and then break out of it. So that's our EMAs. Let's also quickly look at what channels we are sort of operating in. Let me get rid of these. So there we go. So that's the major downward trend in the 4-hour chart that we are sort of trying to break out of. So this is our zigzag channels, and you can see here that we are trying to sort of have a breakout here. If we have a breakout at the end of this week, provided that the other markets support us, because AMC is very much correlated with the larger market. So if we see a dump in the larger market, you can very much expect AMC to sort of move back down from here. But if that doesn't happen, then we can definitely see a move higher, and we try and break out of this region. So let's quickly see our zigzags in the 1-hour time frame as well. So yeah, similar sort of pattern is playing out here as well. So again, in the 1-day time frame, we are trying to sort of catch up with that sort of bottom line of support. In this case, resistance here, we are trying to flip this line into a line of support. So we want to see upward movement. Now guys, I want to see quickly the Ichi here. So Ichi is an indicator which sort of shows you the resistance and support clouds. So as you can see here with these, let me just quickly change the opacity here a bit, get these things a little bit higher. All right. So you should be able to see that these are sort of our supports and resistance clouds. So in the 1-hour time frame, we are looking pretty much below our resistance cloud. But the good news is that in the 12-hour time frame, we are trying to enter our Ichi resistance cloud. So whenever this kind of things happen, if we carry this momentum forward, then you can expect to see a breakout through these Ichi zones, So if you see price going up, then you can sort of, if we consolidate here, what's going to happen is, let's say we consolidate like this. So this Ichi cloud is going to thin out and we can see a quick breakout. And over here as well, this Ichi right here is going to get constricted, right, as we, as we sort of keep the higher momentum. And once it gets completely constricted, what's going to happen is called a Ichi flip, or as you can see here, the red goes from green, grows to green, and that would indicate that we have finally, come out of the overall downtrend for AMC. Now, be very mindful that even in Ichi, like once the flip happens, it doesn't guarantee that, the bullish momentum is going to get carried. A lot of other factors also depend. Like for example, here we did have a flip, but then we sort of fell back down as well. So, just something to keep in mind, but everything looks poised for a move up, a move higher. So I'm expecting, so you can see here that in the 4-hour time frame, the Ichi has already flipped into green. So, take that with a grain of salt, but it is a good sign, guys, and that's a good thing. All right, so even if you switch on the EMAs here, you should see some sort of confluence. So, as this Ichi cloud grows, as the price goes higher, this particular Ichi cloud, just a second guys, bear with me 1 second. This particular Ichi cloud is going to get widened, right? And once that happens, essentially it is defining more support as the price rises, right? So, and then once it breaks the 200 EMA and then finds support, then you should see the Ichi expanding and this 200 EMA moving into the Ichi and sort of, creating a nice cloud of green support here as the price climbs. That's what we want to see with AMC, guys. And if we get to see that over the course of this week, although it has to be said that the volume has been pretty low, so if we get to see that, that would be amazing, guys. And let's hope that that's something that we get to see. And thank you so much for sticking around. I'll come back tomorrow again with a quick update on AMC, and we will discuss a few other things like the short interest, the wider market, and a few other things. So if you enjoy this type of content, don't forget to click subscribe. Before I leave you guys, I want to quickly also point out that price is right at the 0.5 fib of the fib that we pulled. Just let me get rid of these excess. 1 second. All right, so oh no, that was the one actually. All right, so the price is exactly at the 0.5 fib, as you can see, right? This is where our price is at. This green line here is our 0.5 fib, as you can see here. This is the 0.5 fib that has been pulled from the beginning of the second squeeze. So like from here, from the end of the first squeeze and the beginning of the second squeeze. So, so we are climbing back up. We tested the 618 here, as you can see here in around 14, the 1359, whatever was the lowest. We tested the 0.618. Now we are sort of finding ourselves back into the 0.5. If we break 0.5, our next target is the 0.382, which is 2666. Let's hope that price keeps on moving up and AMC keeps on chugging along. Thank you so much and see you again soon. Bye-bye.